Hey, what's going on, man? Coach Tyler here with Black Diamond Softball and Fitness. Got a brand new episode of the FPtFP Daily show for you. Today is Tuesday, January 9th. We are cruising right along here in Season 5. I hope you guys are doing good. If you haven't checked out our YouTube channel, please do so. It's youtube.com/@FPtFP. We're putting up content daily. A lot of good stuff going on there. We got some stuff coming out this week that I think you guys will be interested in. We break down some of the best defensive drills. We're looking back at seasons past, and we're passing on a lot of new information going into the new season. So a lot of good stuff going on over there. And as always, if you haven't checked out our blog, that's at FPtFP.wixsite.com. I'll make sure I have them both linked down below, so make sure you check those out. Today, I want to get into role models. And I know we talk a lot about stars and college players and pro players and stuff like that, but I'm talking about the role models that are on the local level, like these high school players, some of the girls that are giving back into the community. Maybe it's a 14 or 15-year-old. I want to talk about those ladies because it takes a lot to stand out in the right way. There's so much going on with social media. There's so much going on with, clout and trying to post the right thing and be the most popular in this and that. And it's always hard to do what's right when no one's looking. It's easy to do the wrong things, and it's easy to, follow the pack and do what everybody else is doing. And it's hard to do what's right sometimes. And so I want to highlight those girls and continue to praise them for doing what's right on and off the field, doing what's right in and outside of the classroom, being good community members, being a part of the church, being a part of just society and having a good impact. And, we talk about softball players and their sportsmanship, and that goes a long way. And for me, and when I'm looking for a role model, or if I'm looking at somebody that's like, they're standing out above the crowd, the first thing I look at on the field is their sportsmanship. How are they treating their teammates? How are they treating their competitors? How are they treating the coaches and the umpires, and really just anybody around? And, girls that exude this sportsmanship, that have this quality about them, man, they go far in life because it's this compassion that they have for not only the people that they're running with, their coworkers or their teammates or their classmates, but also people that, maybe they're competitors, maybe someone that's chasing the same dream they are. And they're respectful. They display respect, not only towards themselves and their team, but, the opponents. And it doesn't matter if they're winning or losing, that they're going to try their hardest, but they understand that, it doesn't always go their way. The chips fall where they may, and you may end up on the losing side of it, but it doesn't change the fact that you worked your butt off, and so did they. So I love seeing sportsmanship. I love a high five on a home run. I love a tip of a cap or a helmet when somebody makes a dive and catch, or after the game, we're high-fiving, shaking hands, we're laughing and cutting up and carrying on. I love that kind of stuff. It doesn't have to be this cutthroat, I hate you because you're wearing this other uniform, or this week, we can't be best friends because we play on Thursday night or something like that. So sportsmanship goes a long way in being a role model. And parents, I'm sure you guys have seen it, and your daughters, some of you guys have got some great role models. Another thing that goes a long way when it comes to being a role model is their work ethic. It's like leading by example. First in, last out type stuff. If they're doing sprints, they're not cheating that line. They're not stopping a foot or two short and then taking off and running. If the dugout is messed up, they're cleaning it up. They're trying to clean up some of the equipment after the practices or games or whatever. They're leading by example. They're showing, hey, I don't just talk about it, but I do what I say because it's the right thing. And they put in the work. And it doesn't matter if they're trying to work on, their skills or their fitness. They're in the classroom trying to make sure that GPA stays up. They're putting in work in the community. If somebody needs some help, they're always looking to help out. And that rolls into leadership. And leadership to me is a big thing when it comes to being a role model. Not only do you lead by example on and off the field, but you're encouraging and supporting teammates and making sure you're communicating effectively with them to pass the word on. That's what role models do. They're making sure everyone has as much information as they can. making sure everybody has the information that's pertinent to whatever's going on. They're helping coaches out, whether, it's reminding of different things, or they're sending out, pick-me-ups or motivational little text or sayings or whatever. They're talking to the team maybe before the coach does or after the coach does. They're bringing the team together. And that goes in the classroom as well. Just standing up for what's right, being that leader and saying, hey, this is what we should be doing, and I'm going to do it too. And one of the big things is in the community, whether it's at their job, if they're starting out and they're young, there could be something in the community. They could be giving back. They could be, maybe going to an elementary school and reading, or going to the local YMCA or the fitness center or whatever. And they're helping out little kids. Maybe they're volunteering their time coaching. They're doing something to not only put their face out there and say, hey, there's still good people in this world. They're doing their thing because they feel it in their heart to help others out. They put people before them. And to me, again, that's what a role model is. They're flexible. They understand that, things happen, and, sometimes a player may need a pick-me-up. Someone in the community may need a pick-me-up. They'll give their shirt off their back, that kind of stuff. Those are the ones that kind of stand out. And us with younger kids, we look up to those athletes, and, a high five, after a game, or a wave while they're out there on the field warming up, or maybe a quick, toss, playing catch with them, whatever. That means the world to some of these little athletes that are aspiring to be those girls. Go back to when you were in high school, parents. Go back to when you were in high school. And, you might be a freshman and you see these seniors out there, and they're playing the positions that you hopefully are going to be able to take one day. And, you're looking up to them. Or you're in elementary school and you go to a high school football game or a high school softball game or something. And you're like, man, I wish I was like them. I hope I'm like them when I grow up. That's to me, that's what it's all about. So now you have daughters that are in that role, that kids are looking up to them. And, it could come down to the music that they're listening to. Role models don't have all this vulgarity within the lyrics, and, they're not dressing, a certain way where it looks bad. Their pants aren't hanging off their butts. They're not wearing these crop tops that are showing too much, and just, that kind of stuff. They're setting a good example. Though to me, man, that's what a role model is. It's a part of their character. It's a part of their integrity. If no one is watching, who are they when the doors are closed? What are they doing? And they're leading that healthy lifestyle. And whether it's, getting to bed on time, studying like they're supposed to, getting up on time, hitting the books, just all in all, that instead of going out and partying when they're 16, 17 years old on a Friday night, getting in trouble, are they getting in bed early so they can go volunteer somewhere Saturday? Are they going to, to help coach or help umpire, stuff like that, man. So, kudos to the athletes that are doing that. And I appreciate that effort that the parents are putting in, because we kind of get sidetracked and we kind of get, too busy to worry about the small things and make sure we're leading our kids in the right way. I'm guilty of it. There's always something to do, it seems. But if you can kind of stop and reset almost, and praise them for when they do right, and then don't necessarily scold them when they start to get off track, but just readjust them and say, hey, somewhere there's a little girl looking up to you. And you may not know it, you may not think so, or you may not see it, but there's a little girl that's looking up to you saying, hey, man, one day I want to be just like her. So continue down this path of leading your young women into being great leaders, and ensure that you got their back, and make sure they know that, ensure that they understand that, you're there with them. They're going to have ups and downs, but, I hear this saying all the time, help fix someone's crown. The ladies talk about that, help fix their crown. Don't knock their crown off. And that's the same thing with kids, man. Just help them adjust, be those role models and do their thing. Because look, at the end of the day, those role models, they're inspiring people. I get inspired all the time by young athletes just doing the thing, man. I go back to, man, if I'd have done this or done that, I do that. And I don't want kids to live with regret when they get to my age, because that's one thing that, life throws at you is, man, if I'd have done this, if I'd have done that, how would life be different? So continue to praise your kids for being great role models, and use this episode to kind of reset yourself, and also say, hey, you know what? You need to reset too. You need to be doing this instead of this. So anyway, I'm going to jump out of here, man. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you know someone that might like this or want to talk about role models and stuff like that, please share it with a friend. And when you do, make sure you tell them you love them.